drawdown, professional money management views it as it's a loan that you're going to collect interest on. When a bank lends out money, is it crying about how it had to give out your down payment for a home or your boat loan or some other purchase that you made a loan with them with? Are they upset about giving you that big lump of money? No. Nope. Are they expecting to get it back right away? No. No. In fact, they don't want you to take it and pay it off real quick, because that's their business model. They want to lend out the money and get as much interest as possible. So while we don't want to leave drawdown in long periods out there, we look at, or at least I look at it, when I take a loss, if I go into drawdown, it's just a loan. I know I'm going to get interest on it, because my career isn't going to be framed by the last 5 trades or the last 5 weeks or the last 5 months or the last 5 years. I have a long-term view, and that's the problem with being an infant in this industry. It's too easy for you to want to quit because you don't see past what's happened to you right now, or what happened to you last week, or the last trade, and that last trade, that one singular event you've made such a monumental experience out of, and it's make it or break it. Every single trade is a make it or break it. I've read 2 people, one on Twitter and one on the comment section of the videos I have, and they're basically saying, yeah, I think I'm packing it in, I can't do this. And if that's true, congratulations. You found where your breaking point is, and you're not willing to go any further into that. And if you know yourself well, Godspeed. But there's a lot of folks that get frustrated, and if you're going to quit, you're not going to post it on the internet. You're not, okay? I believe these individuals that do that, they just want to be encouraged. Like, don't stop me. It's a cry for help. Because honestly, if I would have had that as a medium when I was coming up, I would have went on the internet and said, help. I'm going to quit. Somebody stop me from quitting. I'm going to walk out the door. It's kind of like a relationship when your lady wants to leave. She's like, I'm leaving you. And she really doesn't want to leave. She just wants to see what your reaction is going to be as you see her walking towards the door or grabbing a couple of things of her clothing. If she's going to leave, she ain't telling you. You're going to come home and her stuff is gone. And if you're going to quit this industry, you're not going to talk about it. You just ain't going to be here anymore. So again, roll your sleeves up. Just understand this is what it's like to be a trader. You're going to be in periods where it's very difficult. And no matter what you do, what you follow, what I taught you, what somebody else taught you, whatever worked in the past, you are going to encounter losing trades, plural. You're going to do it wrong. You're going to have an expectation in the marketplace that isn't going to pan out like you thought. Guess what? That means you may take a monetary loss. And that's a tax on success. You have to pay it. Nobody gets around that. Nobody gets around it. And some of you in here, for whatever reason, think that you're going to stroll right on in here because you're going to be the exception to the rule. And guess what, folks? I'm promising you, you aren't that special. I wasn't that special. Nobody's exempt from it. You all, we all, every single speculator has to pay their toll. And occasionally, guess what? The ferryman's got his bony hand holding out, waiting for you to drop whatever the next sacrifice of your losing trade's going to be. And you have control of how bad that's going to be. You limit it. But you have to do the math and stick to it. Otherwise, if you trade willy-nilly, well, whatever happens, I don't really use a hard stop, but I know when I want to get out. I hate hearing traders say that. That's so disappointing to hear, because really what that is communicating is you really don't have it together. If you don't know where to place a stop loss, you really don't know what you're doing. You don't. So with this model, I've removed that guess, that mystery. Your hard stop needs to be placed, period. If it gets hit, it's done you a favor, period. But if it does you that favor of protecting and limiting risk, it's your job as the trader to listen to the analyst next trade it provides, you'll have to manage the trade with less risk, because you have a task now. You have to come out of drawdown. No matter what the drawdown is, you have to come back incrementally. So let's assume you do a 2% risk trade and you lose the full 2%. Your next trade, you could only risk 1%. 1% risk. And you got to determine, where is your trade defined in terms of points or pips if it's Forex? How much of a stop loss do you need? In this case, we're using this factor here, okay, 9. That's the number of points that's required for the stop for this particular trade. Not every trade is going to require a static 9-point stop. Sometimes you can do a stop, with 5 points. It's hard. I'm not suggesting that you should be trying to do that, but other trades are going to require you to do what? More than 9. Might be 10, might be 12 points. So you have to consider what that's going to do for you in terms of risk management. And eventually, you may get to the point where you lose so much in drawdown that you really can't technically do 1 micro, even if you have the margin to cover it. So that's why it's important for you to be very diligent about managing your risk and controlling drawdown. Don't think, oh, well, I'm going to start off with 1%. And then once you make a trade and it's easy, think, well, I can do 3%. Because if I can do 3% risk and I get a multiple of 5R, I can make 15% one trade. And what if I do that every day? Even better, what if I do that in the morning session and in the afternoon? And if I can do that, why not lose sleep and trade London too? Wow, that's 45% in one day. Good grief. I could probably quit my job next Sunday. I did that kind of stuff, folks. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all. So you have to use low threshold objectives and work your way up from that. Your career is not going to be 10 trades and you made it. No. Longevity, controlled risk, impeccable risk management. That's how you get here. That's how you arrive at consistently profitable, and losing trades don't mean anything. Despite anybody watching you, if you do it publicly, a losing trade is nothing but a tax on success. That's it.